Okay, last class we created this query and added this as a action step in our Datafusion pipeline. And then now we're going to start working a bit with partitioning. Partitioning is an important concept for databases because it allows us to speed up our queries, because we don't need to scan all the data, we scan only the needed partitions. And also is another way to make our pipeline more reliable, because we can then ask our query to run everything in only one partition. And in our case, we are basically working in day partitions or ingestion time partitions. I showed you previously that the clients table were created with partition. So details, partition by day, using the meta column, the pseudo column partition time. We don't have this column in the table, but it exists because of the metadata about ingestion time, right? So how are we gonna do it? Let me show you a bit more about these partitions. So a partition table we currently have, and we're gonna take advantage of that, is the clients table. Let's click on the three dots, query. It's gonna open a new tab with a query, and since BigQuery knows it's a partition table, it already shows us the filter to run the query just by partition. And then this way we are not scanning the full table. Let me put a star here, select star. Okay, so where date partition equals today, but I haven't run my pipeline, my bronze pipeline, my client's bronze pipeline today, so no data. But I know that yesterday I have run the pipeline, so I have 100 rows, okay? And I know that the previous day I also ran the pipeline and I have data. So this pipeline is meant to run on a daily basis, and then for each day we are running the pipeline, it's gonna ingest data in a specific partition. Of course, if I want to run all the data, I can get the 200 rows here. Yeah, you see 200 rows, of course. But partitioning is a very nice concept to speed up the process, save money, save time, and also make our pipelines more reliable. And then because of this, we're gonna add this partitioning on our BigQuery step that reads the bronze data, the client's bronze data. But for this, we're gonna do it in a dynamic way. Instead of hard coding the data, we're gonna use current date. Yeah. If I run for the current date, nothing there, because current date is for me on 21st, and then as I showed you before, there is no data. But if I do a -1, which I know is the 20th, there is 100 rows available there. Okay. Then we're gonna use this just like this, and let's copy only the filter. Let's go to our Datafusion. Okay, this is the pipeline that we run before, right? We run this pipeline before, everything succeeded, and you can see that we are reading all the rows, the 200 rows, but actually we just want the rows for the current date. And then for this, we're gonna duplicate. Of course, usually I need to run the bronze data before. But the thing is, we're gonna work with two pipelines together. We're gonna schedule them together. One task will be dependent on the other. So let's go to the read bronze table. Let's then go to filtering. And this is basically, filtering is basically the same thing as using a where clause in SQL query. Okay, validate, we should have no error. Okay, save it, and let's go to BigQuery and do something else on partitioning. We also want our destination table, our silver clients table, which we're gonna create later, to also be partitioned. And then for this, we're gonna be creating a partition table via the UI here. How do we do that? And why we are doing this also? We want to insert data in this final table, but we're gonna use an advanced query method called merge, which can do upsert data queries, and this will allow us to validate our data in a way that we won't have duplicated error at all. Okay, so let's create the silver table to later on use this merge statement. Just click on the three dots on silver, create table. Push my face here. Then what we have, we're gonna create from an empty table, but if we know the schema, we could create from a cloud storage, for example, or from the Google Drive, from an upload, right? But we're gonna create an empty table, leave the project, same data set. Yeah, we want the same data set, and the table is gonna be clients. It's a native table, there's no other option for this. And partitioning. How do we create the partitioning? To create exactly the same partition as we have for clients that were automatically created, we can just select on partitioning, partition by ingestion time, by day, and then we're gonna be able to use the same filter on the where clause as we saw on the bronze table if we do that here, right? And we need to also pass the schema. We know the schema. It's pretty much the same as we have right now for our other two clients table, especially for the client stamp 2. And then we have two ways of doing this. We can create here field by field ID, select the type, or we can use as a text. Look at this. So if I toggle edit as text, it's gonna suggest us how we can create this. And of course, if I do a space and type another field, I have it. But I have here a text file which I'm gonna send it to you also on the class files, and we can just copy it and paste, and this is gonna be the same idea as this one. So it's basically column name, double points, and column type. Same thing, separated by comma. And let's create a table. Now we do have a clients table that is partitioned by date. We can confirm exactly by clicking on it with the formatting, and in the details we have partitioned by date using the meta column partition time.